Hey, everybody. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good morning. Good day, wherever you are. No intro this morning. We're going right into it because I didn't want to delay any longer. So, hello, everyone. Greetings. Hello to my people watching on YouTube and my Facebook community. Thank you so much for joining me. Hey, hey. Happy Monday, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Go ahead and get comfortable in your seat, or if you're up and moving, if this is your break time, go ahead and stand up. Actually, why don't you stand up and start moving around? You know, if you are doing your movement for the day, this is a great time to take a break and march in place. Move your body. I'm going to share some tips with you today. I'm excited to be able to share this. This is actually what we do in our house to keep our immune system strong, to build our immune system. And so that's what I'm going to be sharing today. So go ahead and take a deep breath, maybe stand up and stretch. And we're going to get ready to go in a few seconds. First, I want to make sure that everybody is safe and can take a minute. If you're listening, hello. Hey, Zakia, thanks for joining me. If you're listening while you're driving, that's awesome. You'll be able to come back and catch the replay if you want to write anything down. I'm going to be sharing a couple of notes that you might actually want to write down. If you're watching live, please say live in the comments. I appreciate you watching so much. So go ahead and share this out, because I am going to share some tips of actually what we've been doing here in our house. You might find it helpful. And then there might be some things you want to incorporate into what you do every day. So my name is Theresa Horne. I'm the founder and CEO of Sisterhood of Strong. Sisterhood of Strong is our health and wellness company. And we are helping you be strong in your purpose, physically strong in your body, strong in your mind, and strong in your soul. And, when we say we're strong body, mind, and soul, I'm coming behind to help you build the habits to keep your body strong, to keep your mind on things that you should be thinking about, to keep your will strong. And then the spirit part, that's Jesus does that work. So we need to change our habits. So the heavy lifting is done by God. Thank you, Jesus. And then we change our habits. That's the day-to-day part, right? So today we're going to be talking about building our immune system. And I'm going to share with you, this, everybody, we've been in a whole, what is it, going on 3 years? Is that right? Woo! It's been a time. And for our family, autoimmune health is a real day-to-day issue. In 2019, so the year before the whole COVID stuff started, my husband had a health challenge, and it attacked his autoimmune system. His autoimmune system, his immune system was under attack, and it was, I would have to say, at the time. Hey, good afternoon, Latara. Thank you for joining. At the time, we, I would say, at first I was a little fearful, and I have a very amazing community of people around me to support me, and I had people who kind of were like, snap out of it. You know what to do in this situation. The God you serve, and so I really wasn't scared at the time, but it was a very serious situation. Like, there's that time where they didn't know what was going on. And it felt very similar to what happened with my dad. My dad had autoimmune issue, and we lost my dad. So it was a really I think it could have been a really scary time. But I didn't feel fear, because I was just very confident in what I knew God was saying at that time. And so, but it's with the mask, they did not know what my husband was battling at the time. So there was a time where he was like in quarantine, like I was the only one who could see him in the family, and I had to wear a mask to go in there. And so this is like, you guys, it's crazy. It was before COVID, where masks are so popular, but I had to mask up, and nurses would mask up before they went in to see my husband, and I'd wear a mask to be there with him. So it was the whole thing. So when we talk about immune health, being, having our immune system be healthy, this is something that even before that issue, was something that, I was, trying to make sure it was a part of our lives. But then definitely we always want to try to be healthy. And so I'm going to share what we do in our house, and I'm going to share the real, because well, first let me share that I am not a doctor. I'm not a dietitian even. So a dietitian can actually tell you, eat this for this medical condition. I'm not that. So I'm actually sharing what we do in our house, like the things I've done this research, and I felt like, okay, yeah, this is what we're going to do at our house. And it's really all about being healthy, things that your grandma told you, your mama, told you growing up. Well, maybe some of the stuff your grandma and your mama told you was not right. So, so I'm actually going to share what we're doing, and there's actually science to back it. So, so in COVID, I want to talk about this fear, though. I want to talk about the fear because I think some of us are sometimes struggling with the fear of being sick, and then some of us need to not have fear, but have a little bit, exercise more wisdom in the choices that we're making and the things that we're doing, right? So we don't want to be fearful, but we also don't want to be we don't want to lack wisdom. Because it is our right to have wisdom, because we're children of God. So we need to ask wisdom. It's given to us freely, and then we need to walk in that wisdom, right? So a while ago, yes, we want to be kind, not nice. A while ago, over the Christmas holiday, I was on a plane, and I was double masking because I was like, listen. I'll tell you, I'm being real this time. I was on a plane, and I had a great flight there. And on the way back, I got in my seat, and the plane was full. I didn't have any delays. I didn't have any of that kind of stuff. Got on my seat, the plane was full, and I sat down, and we're, taking off, just still in takeoff, lights can't move yet, all that stuff. And the person next to me, like, kind of coughs, right? And I'm like, you know how it is when somebody cough around you nowadays. It's like, no, you didn't cough. So I kind of, looked at it, caught my eye. Then I looked at the person next to me to notice if they had noticed that this person was coughing. And I could see her kind of look, so, whatever. And then I could see Kat's eyes, the gentleman, his eyes are kind of watering, right? Now I'm mama. I know when people's sick. So I was like, okay, no, he's not sick up on here on this plane. I was like, no, he is not sick, right? So eyes watering, coughing. Then this joke, I'm sorry. This is real. This joker starts, like, his nose was running. I was hot. Whoo, I'm getting hot, just mad. Just think about it, y'all. I was like, no, he is not sick up on this plane. So he's next to the window, and like he's trying to and blow his nose. And then like not like a little blow his nose, like he blew his nose. I was like, no, he's not sick. He is sick, for real sick. And I was in my mind, I'm like, no, he didn't get on this plane sick. And I'm sitting right next to him. I was like, okay. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, so the plane is full. Like, I can't even move. Like, what I'm thinking, all this stuff. I was mad. I was hot. Whoo! It was so mad. I was just so mad. And I'm thinking, I was like, tell y'all the truth. So I was like praying. I was like, oh my gosh, Lord, protect me from these germs, this man, blah, 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 and God was like, really, Theresa? Like, that's what we gonna do on the plane? I had prayed about 3 years prior that whenever I flew, that God would bring me across the people that can make the connections, and that I would, be seated next to people if I was supposed to talk to them, all that kind of stuff. And that's been my experience. So I'm on this plane next to this person who is obviously sick, and I was really worried about myself. I was completely concerned with me. Anybody have a moment like that where they were like totally caught up and it was not cute? I was really worried about myself. And God said, I want you to pray for him. And I was like, oh. I was like, oh, I'm going to pray for him. This was not about me. It wasn't about me. I was like, this is not about me. God, this is not about me. This is not about me. Oh, okay. So that's what I did. So I'm sitting next to him and praying for him. And then all the stuff, I heard the stuff stopped. The coughing stopped and the sneezing stopped. And I really didn't even notice that. I just prayed for him and I had peace. And then I kind of took a nap. Fell asleep, y'all. Fell asleep to the man who a couple minutes before I was really ready to fight. Like I was really ready to just to lay hands on him. So I took a nap, and then I woke up, and there were really no more coughing, sneezing stuff was coming from him. And we ended up having a conversation. And the young lady next to me was talking about moving, and she was moving. It ended up she was moving to somewhere he had previously lived, and someplace I had visited. So we were able to talk about this place and give her some ideas and recommendations. And actually what she said was, and it's so funny, what she said was, God brought you guys to me to have this conversation because I was really upset about the possibility of this move and everything. And so I was like, oh, it really, truly was not about me. Because had I been upset that whole time, she would have joined me in that. Like, because, totally, I have clear communication on my face. Like, you can read my face. I can, when I'm training people, I can put on a poker face, but in that situation, I would have, she would have been upset with me, but, I had peace. She ended up having peace. We had a conversation. It was really good. So and the whole thing about what is that about immune system? It's about, we don't want to walk in fear, right? Because we serve a God who, can give us peace in every situation. And so we don't want to walk in fear. We want to walk in wisdom and ask for that and then walk in that. So let's talk about how we're walking this out every day. So that is the wisdom that I'm walking in every day. No, I would not have purposely chose to sit next to him. I would not have, but I was in that situation, and that's how I handled it. So day to day, what my family does, I will also say, that my family is not, I'll say we're not perfect, but that's not even when they're not way into vegetables. How was that? How was that? They're not like, ooh, I want to eat all the vegetables all the time. That's not my family. They, they have vegetables that they like and lots of vegetables they don't like. If I were to cook fried foods all the time, there's a great majority of my family who would love to eat fried foods all the time. So I want to say that. So when I talk about eating broccoli and spinach, it's something that I have to be intentional about offering to them. And not everybody is always going to be super happy about it. So I want to let you know that, because I think some people, some families, they have people who really like vegetables and different things, and it's different. So if you are in a situation where the people that you cook for don't always love vegetables, you still want to offer them. You still want to continue to offer them. So the things that we do are we try to get outside. We live in Michigan. There's snow right now. We don't spend a lot of time outside, but the fresh air is good for us. So we try to get outside. We try to take walks. Me and my husband and I try to take walks. The kids will take walks. We bundle up and we go outside. Sometimes it's a very short time, but being outside, and if there's sun, especially here in Michigan, because it's dark a lot, if there's sun, we definitely want to try to get out in the sun. I will say, not always that. I haven't always been that way. I don't really like I don't like being cold at all, but I know it's good for me. And so we bundle up and we go outside. So fresh air is good. The other thing that we do is I eat enough protein. We try to make sure that we get enough protein in. You can get protein from meat. You can get protein from plant sources. But it's important to get enough protein, because protein helps you keep your body strong, right? Muscles and everything. And I'm starting with that because I think people don't necessarily connect those two, but it's important. So there we go. Those are kind of things that might be a little bit different. So then we're going to go with vitamin E, vitamin A, vitamin C, and zinc. And those are things that you could take as a supplement, but I'm talking about what we do every day. Every day we in our lives, we try to incorporate these things all the time. So this isn't something that I'm like, it's cold and flu season, we're going to try to do these things. These are things that we do all the time. This is how we live. So this isn't we're not reacting. We're not in reactive mode. This is how we live. So if anything, I might try to intensify that. But this is how we live. These are the things we always do. We always try to go outside. We always try to build our muscles. We always try to eat enough protein. We always have vitamin A, vitamin E, vitamin C, and zinc. We always do those things. So it's not new for us. What I did over the weekend, because I'm trying to make sure that we're consistent. So I just kind of checked my boxes. Like, I'm like, are we still doing this? Do I need to make sure? Are there any places where I've fallen off? So that kind of thing. So for vitamin E, again, keeping in mind what my family likes to eat. I know what they like to eat. So vitamin E, vegetables that have vitamin E are things like spinach, nuts, broccoli, kiwi, mango. So right now you can get mangoes for, I don't know if they're in season or not. They must be in season because I see them at the grocery store. Mangoes are available at the grocery store and they look good right now. Kiwi, my family likes both of those. I don't always buy mangoes because sometimes they don't look good. So, but all of those things are high in vitamin E. My family likes spinach. My family likes broccoli. So those are things that we are eating. Like last week, I roasted broccoli and put some kale on there too, because I had kale left over from something else. So vitamin E, we're making sure we get enough vitamin E. Zinc is next. I'll go to zinc next. Zinc is something that, for me personally, I sometimes will we have a supplement here because I don't always eat a lot of things that have zinc. Um, Brown rice, because I don't really eat brown rice, is something that has zinc. Black beans, chickpeas, nuts and seeds. But brown rice, black beans, chickpeas. Chickpeas I do eat on my salad sometimes, and black beans. There are things that I make that have black beans, but because of the high carb count, I don't always have a lot of those things in my diet. And that's just because I would rather eat different kinds. I would rather eat my carbs as vegetables, not as beans. So I was like, okay, you need to make sure you're getting enough zinc right now. So that's an area where I had to be intentional and make sure that I was eating enough. Now, for my family, I still, like, we have a Mexican night, and I almost always have brown rice, black beans available for our Mexican night. Vitamin C. Vitamin C, I think most of us know that, like vitamin C when you're sick and all that stuff. The only time that I have orange juice in the house is when we're sick. It's like the treat because orange juice has so much sugar in it, and I'm like, eat an orange. But when our immune systems are fighting off an illness, we might not always want to chew an orange because of the, I don't know what it's called about the orange, but the way the insides of oranges, like the chewy stringiness of them. So when where our bodies are fighting off illness, I do let the family get orange juice, and it's like a whole thing. They really enjoy it. So we have orange juice. Other ways to get vitamin C are bell peppers have vitamin C. Strawberries have pulp. Yes, thank you. Pulp has vitamin C. So those are things that are helpful to get vitamin C. Vitamin C is another thing that if you have too much, your body will dump it. So like you can just kind of go in on the vitamin C. Some of the things that, like with certain vitamins, you don't want to have too much in your body. But that's another thing I like about vitamin C is like, and that's why I get orange juice during that time. So vitamin E, vitamin C, and vitamin A. Vitamin A is one of my favorites because fruits and vegetables that have vitamin A have more color. So like things like sweet potatoes, pumpkin, like I always think like orange. It reminds me of vitamin A. What else? Sweet potatoes, pumpkin, bell peppers again. Those are really good for vitamin A. And so we're always like, one of the things that I like to make with sweet potatoes are what is it? They're diced and roasted sweet potatoes, and I put cinnamon and rosemary on them, and roast them. It's really good, and I like it especially when I'm feeling like I want potato chips or French fries or potatoes like that, but I don't want those things like like I'm craving that, but I don't want to make that choice. The diced sweet potatoes with cinnamon and rosemary, I really, really love it. So, and I can prep that on Sunday and have that throughout the week when I have that craving for carby stuff. And for me, it's usually around my cycle time. So, yes, that's one of my favorites. And then those diced roasted sweet potatoes are also good to make hash to have with breakfast. So it's, I just make a large quantity of the roasted sweet potatoes, diced. I heavily season some of it with cinnamon, and then I leave some of it plain, and then I can make a hash with chicken sausage or turkey sausage, breakfast sausage, and it's really good with onion and garlic. Garlic is another thing that we try to eat liberally. Garlic is good for you to help you fight off illness. So those are like the main things that. Well, they're not the main things. We also use oils, which I'll come to. But I want to say this: went and had a test done, and one of the things that the doctor was saying to me was, to keep your immune system high, right? And he's like, you want to just do things like vitamin C and vitamin. I was like, that's what I felt very validated. I was like, that's what I'm doing already. It was really cool. We had a whole conversation. Yeah, we were nerding out. It was a great conversation. I love talking about stuff like that. So those things are definitely things you can do. Now, I thought about actually giving you guys references for this, because these are, if you Google these things, those vitamins will come up, and you can find lots of research that say those things support your immune system. And when we say your immune system, it's not like your respiratory system that has certain organs that are involved. Your immune system basically is your body's defense system. So like your skin is a part of that, right? Your skin helps fight off invaders. Your gut, it helps fight off invaders into your insides, right? So just talking about that. So the other thing we do in our house is we use essential oils. We use them topically, and then we also use them in a diffuser where we would inhale them. So I'm putting oils on my wrists. I'm putting oils around my neck. Like one of my boys is coughing, so he's putting oils on his chest, on the bottom of our feet. So that's how we incorporate essential oils. Peppermint is my favorite. Our respiratory systems respond well to peppermint. Right now, that's probably my favorite oil to use. Eucalyptus, a lot of us grew up with our grandmas putting Vicks on our chest, and that's one of the smells. One of the smells is not eucalyptus, but one of the smells in Vicks is eucalyptus. So we actually use real eucalyptus as an essential oil to help with that. So really good when you inhale. You remember Vicks? What is it? A vaporizer. So we use the actual essential oil and we use it as a diffuser, so that diffuses into the air. So those are really good. Always remember to clean your diffuser too. I went to my boys' room to fill their diffuser for them, and I was like, oh my gosh, you have to clean the inside of your diffuser. It's because water evaporates and mold can build. So we want to clean the diffuser. I know y'all probably know that. So anyway, so those are the things I wanted to share with you. Actually, what we actually do in our house, like I said, so it's not like we eat all vegetables or anything like that. My family's not down with that. They're real. And so I do what I can, and just try to operate in wisdom. And the one thing I wanted to share too, especially if you have people in your house who are resistant, you want to make sure that you use wisdom there too. Like, you want to do the best you can, but you can't make anyone change. You can just model good behavior. I'm going to share this with you guys, and then I'm going to go ahead and let you go. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you shared this out. I hope this information was helpful. If you have any questions, go ahead and pop those in the comments, and I'll take a look at that too before we get off here. But we were at Sam's the other day, and one of the things that my husband likes is chicken pot pie. And, there's a frozen chicken pot pie that you can buy. And he put it in the cart. And I was like, oh, this is my internal struggle. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so bad for you. And I had brought it up before, but it's just so bad for you because of a whole bunch of reasons. It has a lot of fat in it, and it's saturated fat, right? So we talk about healthy fats and unhealthy fats, and saturated fat is an unhealthy fat. And this particular product has like 40% of the saturated fat for your day, right? And so like 0 is where we would like to be with saturated fat. So this product, this chicken pot pie, has 40% of your saturated fat for the day, which is ridiculous. That's just super high. The other thing it has is almost 100 milligrams of sodium. Not 100, I'm sorry, 1,000. It has 950. So it just has a ton of sodium, and then it's like 650 calories. So it's a nice amount of calories, but it's also this big. So most people don't eat it and get full. You know, like I have teenagers who want to eat 2, which is a lot. It's just a lot. And so I had this moment where I was just really like, what am I going to do? Because on one hand, I don't want to be that naggy wife, you know, like dripping water. I don't want to be that person. But I also don't want you to eat this food that's super unhealthy for you. And so I was just kind of like torn. And so I had to have conversation. I brought it up again. I was like, honey, this is really not good for you. And it's not good for the kids because you're going to bring it home and they're going to want some too. And I could tell, that you really wanted this chicken pot pie. And so I was like, I could have been like, oh, whatever. But I couldn't. There are certain things where you're going to have to decide where you stand and pray about it and stand on it. Like, what's really important? What are your priorities? What are your values? And even when it's hard, you want to make sure that you stay kind and give the people around you the opportunity to really make hard choices for themselves as well. And so I'm very happy that he was like, okay, and put the chicken pot pie away. And then later on this week, we'll probably make it chicken pot pie from scratch, which is a whole bunch of work, but far better than what we could buy in the store. So these are things like we're living this out day by day, you know, and it doesn't happen overnight, and it takes choices and it takes diligence, but it's important. It's important for our lives. It's important for our children. It's important for our grandchildren, because really we're working out, like walking out, like generational shifting, right? These are things that we've learned and we know better, and we have to walk in better, even though it's not easy. We have to be consistent and do what we know to do. And sometimes it won't be perfect, and that's fine, but we can do better. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. I don't see any questions in the comments. If you have any questions, pop them in. I'll come back to them. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Theresa Horne. I'm the founder and CEO of Sisterhood of Strong. And if you want to learn more, make sure you join our Facebook community, Sisterhood of Strong Crew. It's free, or join us for a class. Or if you want to talk about how we can work one-on-one, if you want to get more serious with your solutions to your problems, let me know that too. All right, you guys, thanks for joining. I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.